All right, so when it comes to your debt, don't leave it too late, meaning you don't want to go into retirement in debt, right, Anthony? Do I have it right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, perfect. So now you can take us through the sort of the steps, because I never really thought about this.
Yeah.
Right? You just go through life and you're doing things, and we all, and then we're like, hold on, like I'm not that far away from retirement now.
Yes.
So what should I be doing? Because we don't really readjust things for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's easy to get into a routine, and with retirement, people who are in their 50s to 60s, retirement is starting to show up. It's right around the corner. And if you're still maintaining or carrying a large amount of debt, now is the time to deal with it. And like this picture kind of describes this couple, the party is over.
Yeah.
The spending spree has come to an end. And now if you're in your 50s and you want to clean up that debt so that you're not having all your retirement income servicing the debt. So this way you can have a better lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to walk you through 6 smart ideas that you can consider if you're in that 50 to 60 age group and you're carrying a load of debt.
Okay.
So the first one is consolidating debt. This is where you're going to apply for a loan to pay off a bunch of smaller loans. And this is more focused on credit card debt. So if you're in a situation where you have $5,000 or more worth of credit cards, it's probably likely that you're not going to pay that off just dealing with the credit card directly. So by applying for a loan, you're going to lower your overall interest cost by shifting it. And also with a loan, you know exactly when you're going to be finished paying it off. Where credit cards have that minimum payment and it can really take forever and have no end in mind.
Right.
So the consolidation loan is a way to get rid of credit card debt. Another way to get rid of some debt is using your home equity. And this is using your house as collateral, which gives you access to more borrowing power at a lower interest rate because your house is the security.
Sure.
So that's another wise idea, but I will warn you, if you're going to use your home equity as a way to kind of gobble up the extra debt that you have, make sure that you pay attention to that amortization. If you are 10 years away from retirement, you don't want to restart the clock for 25-year amortization to pay off your mortgage. So stick to the original time frame of paying off your mortgage, even if you add debt to the mortgage.
Okay.
Another option to consider is downsizing or relocating. And I have a perfect story for this. I have a client who is not retired yet, but approaching, and this actually a perfect demographic here, 50 to 60. They were living in a nice luxury townhouse in Burlington. They decided to sell that. They moved to Brantford. They're living in this beautiful Victorian manor on a street that looks like it was taken out of Aberdeen here in Hamilton. And they're just a few blocks away from the Grand River.
Wow.
So they just got so much more bang for their dollar by transitioning from Burlington to Brantford. So that's an example of relocating or maybe downsizing, selling your large home if you're an empty nester.
Sure. Yeah, you don't need all that space anymore.
Yeah, so
why?
this is a great way to eat up a lot of excess debt that you've been maintaining.
Perfect.
Another option, too, to help pay off the debt before retirement is taking on a tenant. So maybe you have a space in your house that you're not capitalizing on. And maybe you can, I have a client that had a foreign exchange student come and stay. And it was a Chinese girl who was super quiet, and it was just great income for them to have. It was a neat experience to teach their children. And so there's another way of generating income, either renting a room or a separate part of your house. Another one, too, to consider is maybe garage space. You could maybe, if people aren't your thing to want to rent, maybe you can rent out space for storage, a motorcycle or somebody with an old car that wants to have it preserved. So you can use your space for some extra income. Another one here is delaying retirement. And my dad always says to me, if you're not making money, you're spending money. So if you retire early and you want to figure out what to do with your time, chances are it's going to involve spending.
Yes.
So
retire early only if you've got the money to do it.
Yeah, if you're still
right?
maintaining debt, you want to try and maybe postpone it for a few more years. It'll keep you out of trouble from spending.
Yes.
And it'll help you have that extra income to pay down the debt. And the last one here, as far as tips are concerned, is reviewing your insurance policies. If you're in this age where you're about to retire, a lot of times people forget the insurance policies that they own. They forget how they work. They don't know if they're going to last for the rest of their life, if they're going to change in price. If their plans are from work, those plans usually end when you retire. So now's the time before you get too old is to address doing an insurance review as well. So these are the 6 tips to help you hopefully get out of debt before you enter that retirement age.
Which is really great and so easy to follow. And you suggest this probably by the time you hit the 50 mid-50 range
You
to
just want
really
to
make
address
sure?
it. I think the sooner the better, but if we're just natural procrastinators, and if we wait to the last minute and all of a sudden we're going to retire maybe 3 or 4 years out, and we still have $100,000 or $200,000 worth of debt to try and somehow make disappear, you're going to have to really focus on it. So the longer you have to work with this problem, the easier it's going to be to get rid of it.
Which is great. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to finance in general is we don't think enough about it, right? We don't have the plans in place. We think we're okay.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you sit down and you realize, wait a minute, you're going to be like these two.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Party's
What have
over.
I done,
Yes.
right? Yeah, Anthony, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Always a great job. You make it so easy to understand.
Thank you.
So you can go to capfinancial.ca. You can call 905-297-1179 for more information. And if this is something that you're interested in, you need to do something about, come and see Anthony. He'll help you out. All right, thanks for watching Hamilton Life, everyone. If you want to see this program or any more of our programming, you can go to cable14.com. You can check us out on Now. That's our on-demand service. It'll show all of the shows there. You can watch us anytime. You have yourself a great day, and we'll see you again next time.